Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you guys how to make beans, specifically black beans. And you might say, why am I going to make beans when I can buy them in a can? Well, I'm going to tell you a couple reasons. For one, it's way cheaper to buy it in a bag and make them yourself. Two, you don't have to worry about getting it in a can with the BPA and the lining and all that different stuff that comes with a can. And three, you can make it with 0 salt or whatever amount of salt that you want. A lot of times some of the canned beans come with sodium and stuff, so it's going to be a better, cheaper, easier, well, let me take that back. Not going to be faster or necessarily easier, because opening a can is pretty damn easy. But you can make a whole bunch of beans and it'll last you through the week. So if you take a little bit of time, ahead of time, and you get it done, then you'll have plenty. So anyway, so I already poured this out. First thing is just a big thing of black beans. This is 2 pounds. I don't know, I think this was like maybe $2 or something, so really cheap. So first thing I did was I just poured out 2 cups, measured out 2 cups of the black beans on here. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to rinse these off in a little strainer and just kind of, clean them off a little bit. And we're going to just rinse them with some cold water. Now we have all of this rinsed out. We're going to put this in a big bowl. I forgot to mention too, after you kind of sift them through with the strainer, you just kind of want to take a look through the beans and make sure that there's no rocks or anything that looks kind of bad. Not that there should be, but it is natural product, and it just helps to make sure that you don't get anything in there. Alright, so we just rinse the beans, we put them in this big bowl, and what we need to do now is we're going to add some water and we need to soak them. So you're going to do like an overnight soak, or at least soak them 6 to 8 hours is what they recommend. Longer is usually better, but you just need to pre-soak them before you end up cooking them. So now we're going to add in water. Okay, so I started to fill it up. I actually ended up putting 6 cups of cold water to the 2 cups of beans. You can kind of see where the beans are at and then where the water is at. The beans are going to end up soaking up a lot of this water. So you definitely want to have plenty of water in there. And now we're just going to let this sit for at least 8 hours. If you can, let it sit overnight, but depending on how fast you need this done, you just want to kind of plan in advance for this. So we're going to let this sit, and we'll come back to this when it's ready to start cooking. One last thing for the soaking stuff, you could just leave it sitting out. You don't need to refrigerate it or cover it or anything. Just put it somewhere where it's obviously not going to get messed up or spilled on the floor or something like that. Hey everyone, okay, so we're back, and you can see I've been soaking the beans here. Anyway, so you can see from earlier, it's it's kind of murky in there now, but you can kind of see how much water this is already soaked up. These beans are literally right here. We're going to empty this and we're going to strain it out, kind of rinse it off, and then we're going to start cooking them. Beyond it, do you like beans? You like beans? Bandit wanted to be in the video. Silly. Hey everyone, okay, so you can kind of see I have my strainer down here, and then I'm going to pour all of that stuff in right now. So now you can see I have all the beans in the strainer. I'm just going to run the water over them and just kind of clean them up again before we throw them in the pot. Now we're going to add all those beans into this pot, and I'm hoping they're all going to fit. Okay, so there's all of our beans. I have not turned on the burner yet. We're going to add 6 cups of water in here, and then we're going to turn on the stove. So we fit all the water in there and the beans pretty much just barely. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this basically on kind of low, like a simmer. And then we're going to put the lid on, but actually we're just going to kind of take it partially off and just kind of leave it cracked like that. We're going to end up letting that cook like that for about 2 hours. And
I know that's a long time.
It is way too long for you.
Yeah.
The beans are a long project.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon has no patience for this kind of stuff.
Mm-mm.
Neither does Bandit. So anyway, so all this excess water will mostly all be soaked up by the beans. So they kind of soak up that water initially when they first sit, and then once they start cooking. So we're gonna leave this, and yeah.
I'm sick.
You want some black beans?
You want to show me what I'm eating? Yummy. They are jalapeno green olives, and they're so good.
You can have black beans in 2 hours. No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Anyways, okay, we'll come back when this is all done. You guys can see the end of a real exciting thing. It's going to look like black beans.
Stoops.
Stoops. Alright, so I'm back to the beans. This took way longer than normal because I didn't soak them 24 hours like I should have. So these have literally been on the stove for hours. Make sure you soak them for 24 hours, and then it should only take like 2 hours. But you can always test them and check the beans. You just want to make sure they're real soft and kind of, mushy. But you can also, cook them how you want them, basically. It's not really a perfected kind of thing for it. So anyway, I just turned off the stove. I'm going to let this cool down. And then I'll just throw it basically in a strainer, get rid of the water, and then put it in a container once it's cooled down. Throw it in the fridge, and we're good to go. So that's about it. Bye.